Let's take a look at the last matchup from this playlist, and that's Oscar versus Kelsey. So if we look at Oscar's team, I think Palkia looks very good here. Of course, really has to be careful for the Togekiss that can absolutely demolish it, but otherwise looks fairly good. Even Milotic doesn't really appreciate Palkia, especially because, of course, the serves does not even tickle. Origin from Kelsey can run Dragon Tail or Shadow Claw, but if you run Dragon Tail, you make it pretty, you make yourself pretty weak to the Metagross. Although, of course, Excadrill is also a very good option. I think for Kelsey, Excadrill has to come every game. Excadrill really only has to be careful for Palkia, and even that, with a shield advantage, you can definitely win. Regirock is also a fairly neutral matchup for Excadrill. It's definitely if the Regirock runs Earthquake. Earthquake will not be enough to take out Excadrill, but you're more flexible as the Regirock user. You will be more certain to at least reach one. Instead of with Focus Blast, where you risk not doing any damage at all, but also at the reward of one-shotting with Focus Blast if you get to it. So definitely expecting Earthquake there. Then from Kelsey's side, we also have the Scizor, of course, resisting the Dragon Tails and Dragon Breaths, resisting the Bullet Punches from Metagross, so pretty decent against the first three, although Palkia doesn't really care about the Scizor that much. The Aqua Tails do hurt it so much, and of course, the Scizor has a really poor stat product. And Oscar also has the option to go for the Shadow Bite Tyranitar. It's able to two-shield through a full Excadrill, and of course can absolutely demolish any Origin. But similar as Palkia, really has to be careful for the Togekiss, because if you see that, then you don't get to do a lot. Metagross can be a farmer if you lose to the Togekiss, but Metagross, yeah, of course, doesn't look that great against many of the other Pokemon from Kelsey. So let's just see what the two trainers decide to bring here. Quite some time to select team, and there we go. We have Palkia into Togekiss, the worst possible lead for Oscar. Although bringing two counters to it in the back, kind of an ABB anti Togekiss line there. And it's met by Excadrill. A little bit of lag, but it seems to be mutual, so it shouldn't matter. Oscar can let the first one go. Earthquake, as said, is not quite enough to take out the Excadrill fully, but should ensure that the Excadrill won't be able to come out with a lot of energy. Excadrill throwing already. Could have farmed up a little bit more. And Oscar opting to go for the switch advantage because he doesn't think that the Palkia gets to do a lot, which makes sense. I think you can take this out with Palkia and pretty much sack the Palkia anyway. Excadrill over farming a little bit and losing CMP and doesn't shield because there's a Togekiss in the back. And we see the Metagross into Scizor. So this is interesting because the Shadow Scizor definitely won't live a Meteor Mash with additional Bullet Punches. But it's 30 turns to 2 Meteor Meshes and 27 to 3 Night Slashes. So the Scizor should be able to outpace. However, of course, Oscar was the first to swap in. So we will have to see if this the counter swap was fast enough. And obviously, if Metagross manages to take out the Scizor, then it's game. Then it can also easily take out the Togekiss. So this doesn't tell us much yet. It's all about this last, and there we go. So Kelsey managing to be just quick enough to get this matchup fixed. And well, even though it doesn't fully take out the Scizor, this Metagross will not be able to do anything more. And Kelsey should be able to easily clean up now with the Togekiss. Of course, Togekiss doesn't like Metagross, but when a Metagross is at this health range, doesn't really care anymore. So that's the 1-0 for Kelsey. yeah, we don't have to see this play out. Not sure why you throw here because, of course, there's no need. It's an ancient power, maybe for the BM boot. Of course, there we have it. The yeah, Aquatil was not gonna be enough to take it out anyway. So completely unnecessary boost. Also not necessary to throw. I think. I think you can just farm down. But let's move to game two. We have to fast forward quite a bit in this set, as I recall that KelssseyK takes quite a lot of time, but we see Regirock into Origin. Not a great lead for Oscar. And also has Metagross in the back, so kinda has to stay, you would say, but probably going for the strategy to lure out the Togekiss and farm it with Metagross and to see if you can beat it with a Metagross with energy. And that's super unfortunate for Oscar. This Dragon Pulse means that it will not be able to do anything more here. This Aquatil is not more than a little bit of chip. And now you're really in a trolling situation, of course, because this Origin is still far too healthy to handle in a nicely manner. And both of these mons also don't really appreciate the melodic, especially if it's so healthy still. So especially if we also still expect that there's another Excadrill in the back as well, then we are just now watching Oscar fight for his life, but without any real chance there. Because Origin can easily let this go. Outpaces Metagross barely, but just enough that it might be able to clean up completely. Oscar's only hope is now that there's Togekiss in the back and this Origin decides to let it go and hope to put more shields on the Togekiss, which then are useless. But there's an Excadrill with 2 shields, and yeah, there's not much you can do about that. Also, no boost chances anymore. We see that the Origin is double nuke, no ominous wind VM boosts at that point. Oscar knows that this game is over and there's no point in throwing many moves anymore. So Kelsey taking the second game as well, which means that she is the first person, well, at least the first person that we see in these videos that is able to take at least 1 point from Oscar as he has won the first 3 battles that we have shown already. But at this point, the best he can get from this matchup is a tie if he manages to win the next two games. So that's his only hope at this point. Let's see what we get next. We have Palkia into Melodic lead. Quite neutral, even though the Dragon Tails from Melodic are super effective. Palkia has the superior stat product, of course. Fast charge moves don't do a lot against each other. Oscar was probably hoping that the Melodic would throw a move there and would be able to swap out then, but now has to take the Sewer Surfs as super effective. But also, of course, has stored a lot of energy on the Melodic, on the Palkia, which can be used in another place better. Given that this Melodic is using its surfs here, might not even have an Excadrill in the back, because then the Excadrill's moves are not that useful anymore. Excadrill might only have use if it can fully farm this down, which at this point actually it might, so might be a possibility here. And that's indeed the case. So probably 1 shield farm down, come out with a lot of energy, but still having to fight as well the very high energy Palkia. And of course, everything loses CMP to Palkia on Kelsey's team. So Oscar now will be sure that he can dump this energy. And there's a Scizor, which is very annoying for Oscar's Metagross. Metagross doesn't really have any role here, so really has to put everything on Palkia, it seems. Decides to swap out, doesn't want to spill more energy on the Scizor. Now we can also see a strategy from Oscar trying to farm this down and use some shields here. And being able to Earthquake the Excadrill as well. Of course that will be shielded, but then there's the Palkia with a lot of energy. Decides not to go for that. Instead letting go the Metagross and being able to farm down the Scizor for even more energy. So 2 Aqua Tails, one of them will surely land. However, you need a couple of Dragon Tails as well to kill this Excadrill. So this Aqua Tail will not be able to kill yet, but then we will have a super close fast move down race, as both will be super low. Not sure why this Excadrill is throwing here. And looks like this is from before the new fast move consistency fix, because it seems to throw at a timing that otherwise Oscar would have gotten a full Dragon Tail through. But managed to pull it through, punch down the Excadrill, and pretty much have killed the whole team with only the Palkia. So we head into the last battle where Oscar is fighting for his point, and Kelsey hopes to take the win against Oscar. Oscar maybe going for the same 3 again. We didn't see any Togekiss, so might not have that much use for the backline at this point, if Kelsey decides not to bring Togekiss again. At this point, we're actually watching Oscar select his team rather than Kelsey. But we get a little look into the kitchen and see what the decision making is. We haven't seen the Shadow Bite T-Tar yet, so might come now. That might come now, especially with Togekiss not appearing in this last game. There we have Tyranitar. That's a nice list of Tyranitar. Of course, there can always be more Tyranitar, but this is also pretty good. And now bringing the Shadow T-Tar, hoping potentially to bite through the fully the Excadrill, using both shields for that. Regirock into Melodic, not the worst lead, especially since Regirock can no shield this matchup, so you can preserve your shields for the Tyranitar. A little bit of lag, which is annoying because for Oscar it would be super easy to throw right when the Stone Edge appears, because then you have perfect throw timing, 11 lock-ons versus a 3-turn move. And then decides to go to the Palkia, hoping to catch a move, but unsuccessfully. And at this point it might be Blizzard, and now deciding to shield early, so not throw all the shields on the Tyranitar, but actually saving the Palkia. And we see Scizor into the Palkia, which can only mean that we will see the Excadrill, and this is the least bad counter swap that she has, but gets the attack boost, might come in handy. Of course, we saw already that Scizor doesn't like an Aqua Tail, but lives one. And now these Fury Cutters hurts a little bit more. So it looks like right outside of 1 Dragon Tail range, so should definitely be able to land one of these. But probably will not be able to reach the second one, or has to swap out if possible. Yeah, I think the play was there to swap out, since you can reach the Aqua Tail against the other Pokemon at this point. Shadow T-Tar with only one shield is not as effective as with 2. as we will now see. And of course, the extra drill also still has 2 shields left. So there's not much Oscar can do anymore at this point. So a full team not that great against the Palkia, but managed to punch it out. Kelsey definitely getting the win. Oscar going for the Stone Edge BM, wanting the shield for a Stone Edge to get at least a little bit of dignity out of this match, and does so. So let's award him a style point for that. But that's all he can get from this matchup. As Kelsey now takes the 3-1 win. Oh, was a little bit early, but we are a couple fast moves away. And now there we are. There's a 3-1 win for Kelsey. Very nice display. Managing to work around the Palkia without a proper Palkia counter. So that's a very good result. She will be very happy with that result as well. So having now seen all of the matches from this playlist, let's head over to the final standings. So we see Hallelujah Boys taking a real commanding lead against Sliphorn. Chris having a day in the park against the Incredible N, having a 4-0, pretty much getting the alignment he wanted all the time. Then myself winning against Incredible N with 3-1, but then losing against Cabana 3-1. Heartbroken Kid sweeping Cabana. And finally, Oscar losing 1-3 to Kelsey. Let's head over to the league table and see what that means for the overall standings. We see that Heartbroken Kid with his 4-0 lead win takes the lead now, 8 points from 5 games. That's really impressive. And also the 14-6 record definitely looks stronger. Kelsey, Oscar both taking the second spot. Kelsey with one more win taking the second spot, but Oscar has 1 game less played, so we will have to see how that turns out. Chris with 5 from 5, basically completely balanced, also 10-10 record. Heater with a 9-7 record with 4 from 4. Myself, just as Chris, also completely balanced, but taking the 6th position because 1 less game played. Hallelujah Boys, similarly 3 from 3, but a positive record. Cabana also 2 from 2, 2 from 2. A lot of people with exactly 1 point per game. And then Sliphorn and Incredible finishing it off with 1 point from 4 games played. And that's it for this batch. Hope to see you all in the next stream, which will be this Saturday. So definitely check out Twitch and our announcements. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and see you there.